Our next speaker is my own General Secretary, Mark Serwotka of the PCS.
Everyone should be proud of themselves for turning up today to tell the Tories, we know you are liars, you are cheats, and we are not going to let you get away with taking everything from us that we have fought for generations. Now let's be clear about one thing. The Tories and the Lib Dems tell us the country is bankrupt, and if we don't make the cuts, you should turn off the lights when the last person leaves the UK. That is absolute lies. Anyone who knows their history will know this. In every single year in Britain, between 1918 and 1961, our debt was twice the size that it is now. But what did we do then? We built millions of council houses. We built comprehensive education and NHS, communities to be proud of. Well, why don't we do that now? Instead of allowing the filth of the BNP to whip up racism because there aren't enough houses, let's build more houses, build more schools, invest in our public sector. And you know they say the money isn't there. Well, the money is there. Let me just tell you this. In this country, every single year, there is over £120 billion in tax that is not collected, that is evaded or avoided. And it's nearly all by rich people. And these rich people tell those on welfare that they're scroungers. Well, it's Sir Philip Bloody Green who's the biggest scrounger of the lot. Because I'll tell you something. Philip Green, in one body swerve, invested his dividend in his wife's name in Monaco, and he avoided paying £250 million in tax. Well, it may not be illegal, but it's immoral. And if there's room in our prisons, it's the likes of him that they should be showing the door, not the likes of our people. Now let's also be clear. We know there's money there, and let's have a slogan that we can all unite around. Tax the rich. Tax the people who can afford to pay it and who avoid paying what's due, not take it off the rest of us. But let's remember this. They're going to try and divide everybody up. Students from pensioners, black people from white people, public sector from private sector. And comrades, our only chance of winning is if we all unite and support all of our struggles. So let's give a massive cheer to every single student who demonstrated last Christmas against tuition fees. And while we're at it, we should say to these students, they shouldn't be paying 9,000 tuition fees, and they shouldn't be paying 6,000. We should have free education for all those who want to better their lives. And for our pensioners, do you know there's only 3 countries in West that treat their pensioners worse than Britain? Cyprus, Estonia and Latvia. This is the 6th richest country in the world. Pay our pensions to a decent level of pensions to all of our old people instead of forcing them to live a life in poverty. And comrades, my last point is this. They're going to try and divide public sector from private sector workers. And we've got to say something. It is a scandal that so few private sector workers have a pension. But none of them have been exploited by public sector workers. They've been exploited by shareholders and executives who robbed their pension pots for years and years. And you know, the best way to get decent pensions in the private sector is to ensure that we win our battle in the public sector and inspire everyone that striking can win. And that's why, Manchester, I want you to imagine something. And I also want you to make a loud noise to show your gratitude. Because 4 brave unions and their members, the NUT, the PCS, the ATL and the UCU, should all be congratulated for striking together in June and changing the mood in this country. And those teachers, and those lecturers, and those civil servants, they showed that they were proud to stand up and fight for the services they believed in and fight for their rights. And now we are on the edge of the biggest strike in Britain in 80 years. And imagine what it would be like waking up on the 30th of November. In every town, every village and every city, there will be picket lines of council workers, teachers, civil servants, health workers, all united to say hands off our pensions, hands off our welfare state, and we're not going to let you get away with it. So let's make sure that the 30th of November is the biggest strike and the biggest success we've seen. But I'll leave you with this thought. If after the 30th of November they don't back down, if they carry on making their cuts, carry on robbing our pensions, then we have to strike again and again until we win. And I'll tell you, my father said to me when I was young, living in South Wales as a teenager, he said to me, son, when you fight in life, you're never guaranteed to win. And he's right. We can't promise we'll win. But the saying goes on to say, if you never fight, you lose every time. Now's the time to fight. Now's the time to defeat the government. Well done today. Build for the strikes in November.